What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how's it going, bud?
It's going great, sir. I'm doing great. Everything's been great on my end. How are you, sir? How are you feeling after a weekend of hardship, man?
I'm feeling justified because I said that the Bucks sucked. Uh, it's funny because obviously I always want my team to win, but I don't know if I said it on the podcast or just to you and Eddie. But I was like, I almost want the Bucks to blow these last two games of the regular season and get because they would jump our draft picks so much higher. Like, where is Carolina picking at? It's
I
like
think
5 picks
seventh.
above us or something. Yeah, like we would have been way up there. Now we're all the way down with the 20s or whatever, but it's all right. I mean, it sucks because Brady's probably gone, and I'll never like Brady. I'm glad that he brought us a ring, but I'll be glad to see him gone too. But the problem with that is we are going to start to cycle. I already told the president of my company because he goes to Vegas a lot more often than I do, to put money on Todd Bowles for first coach fired because he fired Leftwich as a last ditch effort to try to save his fucking job. And as soon as we're 0-3 or 1-4, he's out. It's a done deal. And then we'll just start spiraling for a little bit until we find new hope. But it was fun while it lasted. It was a good time having Tom Brady for a few years.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And speaking of Byron Leftwich, that's kind of crazy, right? I mean, not really after the season that offense had, but just thinking about how this man went to two or three different head coaching interviews last season, one
Yeah.
being my Jaguars. What a crazy turn of events within a calendar year for that guy there. But he's definitely going to be able to find another job. It seemed like
Yeah.
when they were cooking, everybody was talking about him. Even last year through the ups and downs, it seemed like mid games you heard about Byron Leftwich and how he was able to switch things up for one, deal with Tom Brady for two, and find ways for that offense to kind of get cranking. And you saw it again this season, just not as much because of how bad and horrible that defense was.
Yeah.
Those three and outs looked really bad because y'all got scored on right afterwards. For the most part, being that defense wasn't what it was supposed to be on paper due to injuries and these
Right.
free agents and people coming in that just didn't transition for you guys. But hey, you still got plenty of basketball left. You guys don't suck because of people on the court. You guys suck because of the people that have to be on the court
Right.
because of injuries. So you still have 5 more months of basketball. It seems like you're going to be in there in the stretch. The West is giving you plenty of chances. I mean,
Oh,
the
we'll
Jazz are
definitely
still being
be.
talked about.
We should
Uh,
finish in the top six because, like, we're getting Booker and Johnson back after the All Star break, or probably before the All Star break, and as long as those two guys healthy, we're at least the sixth best team in the West. So if we could just avoid the play in, I don't want to have to play the Nuggets. So let's avoid being that 8 seed because it's probably gonna
well,
be the Nuggets, and they're scary.
they're doing their thing right now. They're on a little bit of skid themselves.
Yeah.
I think they've lost three out of the last five, if I remember correctly. Giannis, three times this past week, he went single digit scoring. So it
Yeah.
seems like the NBA is kind of waiting on you guys to get back on a steamroll to keep going because it's definitely been a pause. This is a so we got to address this. Yes, I am wearing a Lakers jersey. Never thought I would before, but it is a Kobe Bryant Hall of Fame kind of. It's got 8 on the front, 24 on the back. Definitely from China, not Honduras or Guatemala, where most of the Nike products are made. Definitely a fake from China that I got from the fair. But yeah, it's Kobe time. So maybe that's all the league's waiting on is you guys to get back to it because right now the Lakers seem to be really hot and LeBron did two 360 fucking dunks in a minute the other night. And when that's the story, you kind of hope the Heat start ramping up because the Cavs are. I think the Cavs are where the Cavs are going to be until we find another piece. We almost went. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell did end up playing. I could go a click of a button, I guess, and look at the box score to see. But he's been banged up, so I didn't really see us being able to do too much with Jaren Jackson and Steven Adams going up against Evan Mobley and
Right.
Jared Allen, you probably want to give the nod to the big vets over there in Memphis, and then Ja Morant versus Darius Garland. I'd probably give the nod to Ja, but yeah, he didn't play, so we lost by 1 point without Donovan Mitchell, so
There
that's
you
not
go.
too bad, and that goes to show like we need more than this Isaac Okoro. We need more you even alluded to Karis LeVert. I like Karis LeVert. He went 9 for 19. That's the only thing that sucks. He got 23 points. That's what I need from him. But his efficiency has to get to where it was before we got him. Leave that shit in Brooklyn. Like when you did that shit in Brooklyn, that's not cute. Like the guy that you were in Indiana is the guy that I want to see. But I don't mind selling the whole fucking house
So
to be able
you'd
to get
rather,
somebody.
because the question here, I guess, is when you're playing around the trade deadline, and for those of you that aren't paying attention to basketball, the trade deadline's coming up, so we'll talk about it a lot more next week when we see trades. But the trade deadline is about building for the playoffs. Obviously, the buyout market is there as well. Would you rather have a really good starting three so that your starting five is full and give up your sixth man, or would you rather have a sixth man and fight against that weak spot that's at the small forward?
I mean, that's pretty much what we have right now. We have our starting three and the six men. Like we have Darius Garland, we have Donovan Mitchell, we have Jared Allen. Evan
Yeah.
Mobley's not the guy that's going to go out and score 30. That's why we have Karis LeVert. We have our six man. It's just he's not a six man right now because he's too busy playing the three guard, uh, coming out into the starting lineup. That's the difference. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I would love Kuzma. I would absolutely
Yeah.
love that. But the fact that they want some kind of DeJounte Murray haul is
Right.
absolutely asinine. That's why I was like, hey, Harrison Barnes. By that time, I think the Kings are going to figure out that they really don't have too much of a push out
They
in the
just want the
West
playoffs, though. They don't
with
care
what
about winning the whole thing.
I understand. But to get rid of Harrison Barnes isn't that big of a hole for that team the way they run. He is a big part of that team. He's probably their biggest role player they have. But
And
it's
he's
not like
probably the
he's a
locker room guy for sure.
yeah, he's not like the key piece. He's not the
Yeah.
Dante Sponis. He's not the
Right.
swiper. So like, it's not like they should. I don't understand why why they would want anything near as much as we'd have to give up for Kuzma. But I some of those pieces, I wouldn't mind giving away a Stevens. I wouldn't mind giving away a Kuro because we have that six man and Karis LeVert, and I do not want to get rid of him. We already got rid of the hole that we're trying to fucking fill, and he's going stupid over there in
Yeah,
Utah
he
right
is.
now. And I don't want to have to get rid of one of the main pieces that we decided was better than him and a Juga the guy out of
Right.
Kansas.
Do you think when Wade comes back, he'll be a playoff rotation guy, or he's just on the
Yeah,
bench?
nah,
All right.
nah. Dean Wade, he's so good at covering multiple positions. He can cover the
Okay.
2, 3, and the 4, if he needs to. And he's six. I want to say 6'7", 6'8". So if we need him to guard one of these smaller centers that are on 18 of the teams in this league, he can do that as well. Once he's able to get back, that'll be fine. But it still doesn't cover like that piece. Like Dean Wade, like whenever he's playing, that this is why we need a Laurie Marketing, we need a Harrison
Yeah.
Barnes, we need a Kyle Kuzma, and the fact that if he's guarding KD, yeah, Dean Wade's only going to let him cook him for like 35 points, but the plus minus between that matchup is going to be 35 points
Right.
because Dean Wade's not going to be able to give you shit. Like we need a guy that can go out and give you 20 and be able to guard those tall guys. Karis LeVert's little short ass turned into a shooting guard in the last couple years of his NBA tenure because he's just not big and lengthy enough to guard the top 5 three guards that we have in this league, which you have to do to win a championship. Unless, I mean, not even unless you're the fucking Warriors, because that's all their length is in the 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Their fucking 3 is a center in Draymond Green. Like that's where all their length is in that position. And we don't have guys that can go out there and score 40 points just strictly behind the arc.
For sure.
Got a
So
motherfucker that can go out there and score 71 though, but he's got to stay healthy.
So when you're looking at the teams, and we're both going to be homers here, obviously, always, that's our thing. We've never apologized for that. We love our teams, and if you're watching, then you know that we love our teams and we don't give a shit. But going into the trade and the buyout market, what team in both conference, so pick like one or two teams in each conference, is set up to make the biggest move where, as far as buyers are concerned, like, who do you think is that one piece away, or the one big buyout piece away, or something like that, more so than any other team?
So being obviously, I'm gonna pick the Cavs as one of them, but also the Knicks, I think, are
Mm.
another team that are one piece away from making a huge jump. And then looking on the other side, the obvious one is going to be the Mavericks, right? They keep getting
Yeah.
rid of the fucking pieces that they get to fill, but I feel like with Christian Wood, with Luka Doncic, it's not even the Jalen Brunson that they got rid of. It might be another big man that they need to make a push for to get that thing going. And then looking at another team in the West that's kind of down and looks to be out of that big, like the upper echelon is the Trailblazers. And
Mm.
a team that's really found somebody and Anthony Simmons,
Anthony Simmons.
Anthony Simmons, the youngin out of San Antonio, they found a good piece in that and a really good backcourt. And of course, they have one of the
Nurkic. Yeah, I
Iviches,
think it's
yeah,
Nurkic.
Nurkic, one of the itches or whatever the fuck the tall guys with the same fucking names. But with him, they still have great things coming. They just need another piece. They have Nick Powell. Just want to say his last name. They have Powell out there doing good things for them. So they're just, I think, one good piece away from really being able to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Nice. Yeah, I like your picks. If I was going to throw anybody else in there from the East, I'd probably say Miami. And that's just because they're always always that team.
But
It
they'd go out and get Rudy Gobert if they could get like they would go get somebody like they'd go get a Draymond. They're not going to go out and get somebody who's going to put up buckets that like they won't go get a Jalen Brunson. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
but that
They got
that's fine with them. If they go buy out, like, I don't know who's going to be in the buyout market, but if they get Jay Crowder, from the buyout market, that's going to be a huge lift for them, and they're going to be able to make a big push. So I think they're right there, able to do that thing. In the West, I think you had the right guys. Obviously, I'm excited to see who the Suns will replace Jay Crowder with, because it's going to be somebody. If nobody trades with us, we're going to buy somebody from the market, literally just because we have an empty spot right now.
Did
But
you see while we're
whoever it
talking
is
about
won't
it?
play.
A Dallas Mavericks fan, he does graffiti artist in Dallas, made a
Oh
mural
yeah, I
and
saw.
sent it to Mark Cuban as like, hey, I want you to see this work I did. I'm really proud of it. He's like, that's disrespectful,
It
dude.
was disrespectful,
I
but
mean,
it's
is
also
he
true.
lying?
So yeah, exactly.
All I see is facts. Like, yeah,
For
you might
sure.
not like it, you might not appreciate it, but all I see is facts there. You can't get upset with a guy showing
Yeah.
you the facts. Get
So,
mad at the
so for
facts
those
that
of
you
you that
created.
that haven't seen it, the muralist, or is that what you call them, muralist, painted a mural of Luka Doncic, and it said, "Can I get some help?" or something along those lines, and then it showed all his stat lines from like the most recent games with all his triple doubles, with the 50-point triple double and all that. I thought it was hilarious and true, so I was down for it. I would have laughed if I was Mark Cuban, but I mean, I guess that's his where his money is. Um, but I think he'll get some help. I think they'll do something. So, real quick on them, just hypothetically, you think if they would have kept Jalen Brunson would have been this? Like, so many people are talking shit about how they got rid of Jalen, or not got rid of, let him walk, which is always a stupid move. But he was not going to be this if Luka Doncic
No,
has the ball beside him. So, like,
no,
it's kind of
exactly.
a this for that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, this is like the the AJ Brown thing with going to Philly over Tennessee. I think would be uh, a more fair thing. Like AJ Brown, yeah, if they would have gave him the ball, AJ Brown was doing the same shit in
Right.
Tennessee. He's just getting the ball more here. There's no way he was going to be doing the same shit in Dallas. Like he
Right.
didn't have the opportunity to. The fact that Julius Randle and RJ Barrett are the only two people who are worth a fuck on that team are both bigs and are used to only getting the ball off of rebounds after 15, 14, whatever it is. And the 14 seconds are off the shot clock is when they're used to get. So for over half of the possession, Jalen, my boy, do whatever the fuck you want. That's never been said to the guy in the NBA before. So
Yeah.
no, that wasn't going to happen.
Well,
I
and if
agree
he
with you
did it
there.
in Dallas, they would have traded him anyway, because he would be
And
taking the shit away
when
from
he
Luca.
did do it in Dallas, that's whenever the GMs and the Mark Cubans were going around showing everybody the film, getting the fucking best
Exactly.
bang for the buck that they could get. Or no, he was
He
did they get
walked. He was
anything?
a free agent.
He was
No,
all right.
but
But yeah, they definitely helped his ass make some money. But
yeah,
that there's in no way, shape, or form. Look at Christian Wood. He's digressed. There's no room for that on that team if their name's not Luka Doncic.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't blame him. That's Luka being Luka, but I don't know how he's gonna win
But I mean, I can
with
see
that.
where their fans are coming from. Like they
Yeah.
gave up on Porzingis. Like they didn't try to even see what they could do with Jalen. They just knew it wasn't going to happen as a point guard, so he had to go. But I mean, what are they going to bring in? They're not going to bring in anybody great. There's not really too many people to grab, and you don't. Do you see them going to a Mavericks team? Like they're not built to win a finals right now. I don't think.
They gotta get yeah, they're a few pieces away. They're not just one piece away. They're gonna need to make a few moves. But it's exciting because with the trade deadline, with All-Star break, with all this stuff, you get the teams really starting to go for it. And uh, we're gonna be bouncing up there. You guys will be bouncing up there. How important is it for you guys to probably finish in the top four? Do you want to host that first series, or does it really matter?
Yeah, it definitely matters. Just for the fan base, more than anything, to get hyped up and show like that they're ready to go, and to be able to get a first game of a playoffs is really important. And I think for Donovan Mitchell, the leader that he is, he's going to want that, and he's going to be hungry for it. And I think it's a strong possibility, like you alluded to last week. As long as we can just keep our head down and win the games that we need to win and coming out of our division on top, which is still a good possibility. We've went on a skid, not doing too great, but it's still a possibility. The Bucks have went on a skid as well. The Bulls have not, but
Right? They found
so
their way.
it's yeah, it's going to be tough to win that division, which it's so weird. Like all through the 2000s, it was an easy fucking division, and now it's one of the strongest in the fucking league. But
I still don't even know divisions, dude. I know our Western division just because that's what the
I,
Suns are in, but I could not put together the
I
rest
just
of the
know Bucks
divisions.
and Bulls because I was like, yeah, but
I know us because it's easy. It's all the Californian teams and then us. So like
true.
it's pretty simple.
Yeah,
But
but yeah, we can get there. I'm excited. It's just, will we be able to get it done without that piece? No. Like in 7 games, it's going to be exciting. We're going at least 6 games with anybody at this point in time. I truly feel
yeah.
like even if we made our way to the finals, the best team in the West, I feel like we could go up against 7 games, at least 6.
Well,
So
you'll get a piece. Hopefully it's the right piece, and we'll talk about it when you do get it, but you will get someone. I'm sure of it. We will get someone. And again, I doubt they'll even be a playoff guy.
I hope so. And that's the
But we'll
thing that
see.
sucks about being a Cavs fan forever is like, yeah, we have been doing good. Kobe's been doing his thing, but as a Cavs fan, you're just fucking used to not. So,
Right.
I mean, hopefully this is a new regime. Hopefully it's a new day and age. That would be awesome. The Jags have been showing me that things can change. So
Yeah.
hopefully shit's different in my world.
Well, as far as my world, there is one team that is doing well. It's the other league that's halfway through, and that's the English Premier League, and that's why I'm wearing my boys here. We are 8 points up. Technically halfway through will be after we play you guys, but you guys have already played 19 games. So some teams have played halfway, some teams haven't. But we are 8 points ahead. If we end up beating Manchester United this weekend, uh, 8 points ahead halfway through the season is huge. I want to knock on wood, but it wouldn't matter because it's Arsenal and we're going to blow it at some point. But no one has ever had this many points halfway into the season and lost or missed out on winning the championship. So we'll see. But I can't even confidently say again it's Arsenal. If you guys watch Premier League, you know as soon as January hits, Arsenal fans clench their butt cheeks because it is time. But normally we're in like fourth or fifth when that happens, so we tank out. Now we're in first, so I can semi confidently say that we should finish in the top four and make the Champions League next year, which is huge because 18 games ago before the season, you ask anybody in the Arsenal camp, what's your goal for this year? It's make the Champions League. We have to make the Champions League, whether it's win one of the cups or get top four. Well, we want to get top four always, but we have to make the Champions League. So the fact that we're number one and 8 points up or on anybody is icing on the cake. Obviously, when you reevaluate your goals now, we want to win the whole thing. But in the grand scheme of things, if for whatever reason we collapse and Manchester City runs the table, we should make the Champions League, and that's a huge win. It feels good to be an Arsenal fan again, and this is even without Gabriel Jesus because he got hurt at the World Cup. So our best player, when he fell in the World Cup, I thought we were going to drop. And we had not lost a game since then. We've drawn one, but we have not lost a game since. So I'm excited. We only have given up 7 points total, not goals, but points. If you guys watch soccer, you understand the verbiage. But we've only dropped 7 points total in the 18 games. So it's an exciting season. It's fun to watch. I found a bar down here, an Arsenal bar, so I don't have to drive all the way to Long Beach. So it's fun.
Good shit, bro. Yeah, I'm excited for us. Not even gonna lie, I bet on our games. I'm not watching them. But ever since we gotten rid of Ronaldo, it seems like the guys have really gotten back into just playing football and doing their thing. And it's cool to see. Like you said, as a Man U fan, this is where we start getting excited at when we're at this point. It's just this team's still too new, not around each other for a very long time. Still got a lot of newly acquired pieces, so we'll see what happens. This isn't I don't think um, like a champion season, or what are we going into? I don't know if you call it champion season, but tournament season that
Right.
we're looking to come home with a lot of medal. But the fact that we're up and able to get into all, including the champions at this point, and have a shot is pretty fucking cool. So yeah, I'm excited to keep betting and hopefully just keep covering.
Well, the one loss that we have had this year was to you guys at
Yeah,
Old Trafford. So hopefully this weekend I'll see if I can get to the bar. If I can, I'll send you a nice picture from the Arsenal bar. It'll be a
that'd be
fun game.
dope.
It'll be cool. Yeah, because the game's at 8:30, so I can actually living on the West Coast, dude. Premier League games are like 4 in the morning. And the Long Beach bar is still open at that time because it's like it's quote unquote closed, but the door is like cracked open with a stool so you can go in because the Arsenal people are still there, but they're not serving anything. So you're literally just sitting in a bar so that you can be around people. Um, but hopefully this one's the same way so that they'll be open. But at 8:30 in the morning, they should at least be serving coffee or Guinness or something. But all right, so let's move on to
That'd be
football.
dope.
Yeah, that's what we used to do in the Long Beach when we would go grab like a Guinness, even if it's like 8 in the morning, just grab a Guinness because it's like coffee basically anyway.
Yeah,
And I don't even like Guinness that much, but it goes well
I fucking
with the
hate
soccer.
Guinness.
It's so thick. It's like milky,
It's
like
horrible.
just yeah, tough. I
I
like the draft,
yeah.
the nitro one. I don't know if you had the nitro one. I like
That's
that one.
so yeah. I've never had a draft. I've had it to where you have the little nitro ball in there and you crack it and you got to put it at the bottom and just bring it
Gotcha.
up that way. It takes you forever. So like, yeah, the proper way to do a Guinness with the nitro can is a
Yeah,
pretty long fucking process. But yeah, that's the only way I've had it, and it's
gotcha. It's still not good.
maybe with some Baileys in it, but then it's not gonna be as what it like is it gonna
Yeah.
be like take be flat? So now you're drinking a alcoholic milkshake.
That is what you're drinking for sure.
Like it. Oh
All right, so let's move on to football, and it is the conference semifinals. We'll go quickly through the games that happened, and then we'll talk about the games that are upcoming. So let's just kind of run through it. You guys were the second game, so it's not happening yet. The 49ers and the Seahawks, pretty much every game went exactly how we said, except the Giants and Vikings. Um,
I
the
called that one.
Yeah, the 49ers and Seahawks, we both said would be solid for a half, but the 49ers were too strong. And that is exactly what happened. I mean, the Seahawks made it a fight. They looked like they were trying, and then the 49ers were just they looked like my rec team is what happened. It was just we're good for a little bit, but we don't have the weapons. We don't have what it takes to play all game, and we all knew that was coming. The 49ers just wiped the floor with them.
Yeah, we that Seattle defense isn't really that great, and it took a minute for Brock and Kyle Shanahan to get things going, but after a little bit, that offense looked pretty good. I love
Yeah.
saying that, but yeah, shout out to that kid, dude. Like he seems to be pretty legit and not too scared. There wasn't too many jitters. It seemed like on his end. It's just they started trusting him and they let him sling the rock a little bit. He had over 300 yards, 3 tutties. Like
Yeah.
the dude was spinning it.
Did
But
you know
yeah,
that
and also
UCF lost the recruiting battle for him?
really
He
Arizona State,
after he
Iowa
visited
State.
Yeah, after he visited UCF and Josh Heupel, he came out and made us the top of his list. Like we were at the top for about a week, and then he visited Iowa State and he signed there. But he visited us. We were that close.
That would have
We
been
could have
cool
avoided DG, bro. That would
for
have
real.
been awesome. But
That would have been
whatever.
amazing. Yeah, but
Um,
that is a crazy little tidbit.
yeah,
But yeah, no, it went exactly the way we both figured it would. Seattle's defense, we didn't think was going to be good enough to sustain
yeah,
anything. They just have too many ballers over there. With Debo back, he showed all the difference in the world. But yeah, shout out to Seattle. Shout out to Geno Smith
for
for
sure.
sticking it out
He'll be
and
playing flag
making the
football in a
best
couple
of it.
weeks.
Damn right, making the best of it, being a Pro Bowler. Yeah, he did his thing, and Pete Carroll showed that maybe he's not a really bad coach.
Right. Yeah,
Maybe it
maybe
was
like
Russ.
it makes Russ look so much worse. I mean, this isn't a podcast. This is called No Scrubs Allowed for a reason, so we're not going to talk a lot about non-playoff teams, but it makes Russ's kind of diva stories that come out and stuff maybe seem a little more plausible, and maybe it wasn't Pete Carroll's fault. Um,
Yeah,
and they have a dude in Kenneth Walker, so they'll be able to build around him for a little while. So that's good for them. The next game was your game, and it went exactly how I said. I want to just, before I ask you what your feelings were throughout the game, because that had to be crazy. I said on the podcast, I've seen enough Chargers games. They're going to come out, they're going to look good, and then they're going to find a way to blow it. I did not expect that they would find a way to blow 27-0. I did not expect that they would figure out how to lose a game, even though they got 5 turnovers in what, one quarter, or was it one half for the five? And it was just the
well,
picks that were one quarter. Um, and I texted my brother after the third pick, and I said, "Man, it literally might be time to go to Blaine Gabbert." And my brother was not really talking. He wasn't very happy. But it looked that way. So talk me through your feelings. Talk me through you haven't ever really been high on Trevor Lawrence.
yeah.
And it's because of this. You see the low and then you see the high. But how do you feel like this team performed? Not obviously it wasn't great the whole time, but just as a whole to have the mentality to come back. And we're not talking about future games yet, but how does this was needed if you're going to go play in Kansas City next game? You have to have a game where you have some confidence.
Absolutely. That second half, I'll talk about in a second, was tremendous and crazy. Like the things that offense and the defense did was absolutely insane. So yeah, we could talk about the first quarter. 3 interceptions in the first quarter, back to back to back. Uh, first first one, whoo, that's a toughie. Second one,
Yeah.
got away from him. Third one, deflection, whatever. Like, all right, this motherfucker's not going to settle down. Another one, didn't see it, don't want to see it, never looked it up. A muffed, not even a muffed punt. Everybody knows this. Anybody who played Pop Warner, there's a safe word. Everybody says it's not
Yep.
clear because clear. What the fuck? Clear what? It's everybody has a distinct word that if they hear this, they get the fuck out of run out of bounds, bro. Get the
Just
fuck
straight
away.
turn sideways and take off.
And this fucking smart guy just kept on his little. The hell was that? So then, yeah, 27 points. But looking at it, like they had 5 turnovers and didn't really get shit off of it. They were getting points off
Yeah.
the 3 and outs. That on the punt was on like the 7 yard line, and they only got 3 out of it. They had
Right.
their kicker miss, so it really should have been like 42 to
Yeah.
nothing going into
Absolutely.
halftime. So shout out to
And they
them a
let you
little
guys
bit.
score that touchdown right before the half that seemed
Yeah,
meaningless, that was like nothing, but it
yeah.
turned out to be huge.
Yeah, you could tell they just wanted to get to half, and we wanted a scoreboard for the half, and we both got what we wanted. Came
Exactly.
out of the half, scored again. Defense held them. Defense kept holding them. We kept scoring, and we're able to kept scoring. We got 2 fucking field goals, or no, we scored a touchdown, went for 2, and didn't get it. Then we go down and get the touchdown, go for 2. Shout out to Joey Bosa. I love you, bro. Helmets. Who likes helmets anyways? Throw them as much as
It
you
was
want, bro. I don't give
definitely
a
a
fuck.
bad call on the false start. But if you're Joey
Oh,
Bosa, you cannot do that. You just cannot lose your cool.
yeah, and the ref guy came in on the podcast on the broadcast and said like it's off by like we're looking at it in slow mo. It's off by a pixel, maybe 2 pixels in
Yeah.
real time. It's not enough for a ref to call it. It has to be a little more blatant than that. But I mean, at the end of the day, if it was up to robots and sensors and all that
Right.
shit, yeah, that's getting called 9 times out of 10. Yeah, and if you're Joey Bosa, it happens a lot. I see it a lot on our team. I see it a lot in the NFL in general, but definitely we do get away with a lot.
Yeah.
In particular, Jawan Taylor, who isn't the best right tackle in the world. I'm not that high on him still, even though he is a Gator. Um, I can't wait till Walker Little takes his spot, and we don't have to re-sign Cam Robinson. We fucking can move Jawan over to left tackle where he was supposed to be all to begin with. But um, but yeah, back to the game. It was amazing the just the conads that this whole team showed, and that's why you have to be scared of them, and that's why a lot of experts are talking about it. The fact that they were down 27-7 going in the halftime, and Peyton alluded to it Monday night, which was fucking hilarious. Halftime adjustments are the biggest like bullshit. Like you would go in, get an orange or two, and then the coach would
Right.
tell you, "Let's go back out there." So like, but we're just going in there down 20 points, and to come right back out and really go to work on both sides of the ball, and for Trevor to not even think about the first half, for the offense to just keep grinding and keep protecting, keep doing their thing as an offensive line, defensive line doing fucking work, not really having to go crazy on the blitzes because when we did that in the first half, Herbert was able to take advantage of it. So just our front four really being able to go to work, Josh Allen being able to go to work, Tyson Campbell in the secondary starting to get some shit together and deflecting balls and yeah, it was a really good team win in that second half. But we shouldn't even been there. I
Yeah.
feel like without those 4 interceptions, they don't have 27. Even if we only have, let's say, 6 points, we get 2 field goals.
Right.
We're going in maybe 10-6
Yeah.
at halftime down. So I'm excited to see what we're able to do against Kansas City. We lost to them, and that same type of first half is the game we played against them. We only lost by 10 points
Right.
to them trying to scratch and claw back against them. But yeah, we are a scary team. I'm excited. Our defense seems to be pretty legit. If we can get away from trying to be cute, being fancy, which I am kind of happy that it is against Kansas City and not Buffalo, because we're not going to be able to blitz that much. If we start doing that, they're
Right.
going to be able to get those chunk plays. So yeah, man, we'll see. We're
Well,
2 days away now.
the crazy thing is that this game, in my opinion, from an outsider, was the epitome of you can't just be brave as a head coach. You have to be smart. Brandon Staley for the Chargers is a brave head coach. He's got gonads. He does things that he probably shouldn't do, but he's
Shout out
not
to him too.
smart with it. It's crazy that they were, and I know they fired their offensive coordinator, but I don't care. I put it on the head coach every time. When you're snapping the ball up 20 points with 20 seconds left on the game clock, you only run it 5 times in the second half when you're trying to milk a lead. You just do these stupid things. And I understand that Justin Herbert's their superstar. Not discounting Eckler at all, but Justin Herbert's their superstar. But just spend a few more seconds in the huddle. Like snap the ball a little bit, run the exact same plays, just snap the ball a little later. That communication did not get around, and that's stupid. On the flip side, Doug Peterson, everyone in the stadium and their parents, and I could have called one of my relatives that doesn't know football. They knew that those 3 back linemen were going to push Trevor Lawrence through on this 4th and 1, and it was going to be just play another play. No, he calls a ballsy sweep to the outside, and it not only gets you the first down, it gets you in field goal range to where you could go for the win easily. So that's the flip side of being brave. You have to also be smart, and Doug Peterson is smart, and that's gonna help you guys in the long run. You can make the right call.
Yeah, and then explaining that play, he's like, "Hey, When they line up inside, run it outside. When they line up outside, run it inside. So that seems to be like an option play that he has
Yeah.
in his back pocket. So I'm excited for that, right? And
Well, because
on
yeah,
that
yeah, if
two,
they leave a gap and you're Trevor Lawrence, you just fall into it.
yeah,
But if they
like
don't leave a gap, you
that
make the
2 point
call.
conversion when he
Yeah.
just leaned right over, that was just a little freestyle off the dome that
Right.
he did. It wasn't the plan. He just went up, saw it, and the fact that Doug in that offense, the freedom that he's given Trevor in the first half hurts you. 4 fucking interceptions. He came out after the game saying that one of those was kind of a fuck up. Like he
Yeah.
felt like he was seeing it. It's not like he wasn't reading it right. He there was one that kind of got away from him, but he fucked up and he took credit for it. Took credit. He took accountability for it and went to work. And the fact that he's still able to be trusted by his coach is just so cool. And just I doubt he's going to win Coach of the Year, but and it's all regular
No,
season
Dayball's
awards
gonna
and
win
shit.
Coach of the Year.
Yeah, but man, that's fucking awesome. That after your quarterback fucks up so much that on a 4th and 1, that's literally your whole fucking season to even try to continue going.
Yeah.
You give him enough of an option play, it seems like, and then at the fucking goal line for the on the 1 yard line for the 2 point play.
Yeah.
There's any like he has. Oh, I have to run the play. Fuck it. Like, let's go.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's absolutely amazing. It says a lot about this team, this coach, this organization that we're trending towards, and I'm excited. I wouldn't be too surprised. Like that run we went on 2017, those 7 wins before a loss, that run in the playoffs, that was surprising. I would not be totally surprised if we were to go and beat the Chiefs and end up in the AFC Championship.
That'd be crazy. All right, so let's move on with the weekend. Moving into Sunday, the first game was the Bills and the Dolphins. And if you are the Bengals, which we'll talk about later, but you have to be happy with the Bills you saw this week. I truly thought Skylar Thompson was about to find a way to beat this team. What happened with the Bills? Why are they not the team they were the first 8 weeks of the season where they're just rolling?
I don't know, man. Are they scared of cold weather too?
They must
Like
like
that
something.
defense? Are they not able to cook? Like that offense was
It's
humming. The
crazy.
offense did its
Yeah.
thing. I mean, Josh Allen, the best Demar tribute we've seen so far with the 3 picks, 3 turnovers. That was pretty cool. Fumbles, likes to fumble the ball a lot, so
He
it
does
wasn't
like
all
to
picks.
fumble. He likes to
But
fumble.
that's the 8 lost fumbles this season. That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's a lot for a quarterback. Or is that over his career? Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Either way,
But
it's a
yeah, no,
lot.
I was rooting for the fucking Ravens to beat the Bengals so we could go and play the Bills. And not even just because of
Exactly.
the
Right.
Jaguars and Bills history that we kind of have beat
Talked
them. I'm not
about.
going to say
Yeah.
we own them. We don't play them twice a year like Aaron Rodgers does the Bears to say that. But we
Right.
have their number, it seems like. But and then you're going to go out and do that? Fuck yeah. Let's
Yeah.
hand us a win, please. Give us an easier way.
Yeah. If
So
they
yeah,
would
the
have
Bengals
given
have to be very happy.
anybody else, think if the regular season would have went a little differently, it could have been the Steelers there. I think the Steelers could have beaten that Bills team. Like it's so crazy that they just got lucky that it was that
Yeah.
Miami team.
If the Ravens and them, if the Ravens and Dolphins would have been flipped, the
Yeah.
Ravens could have snuck out with a win there.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Huntley
That would have been tough.
wasn't that. Yeah, that was, and even with the Ravens having a shot there, still the Bills might be licking their chops that they're about to play the Bengals.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they're both ready. I think this is cool that they're both
It
ready for
is
this
cool that
game.
this is the
This is
matchup.
the game we didn't get to see. This is the rematch that we wanted.
And DeMar
Um,
should be there because
he will.
he's
He's
been at
been
the
in.
practice
He's
facility.
Yeah,
He's
he's
been
been at
doing
the
his thing.
facility
So
almost every day. So I'm guessing he had to go in to get checkups and wasn't there for a day. So they said
right.
almost every day. So that's cool. He will definitely be in the building. There's no way he's not, right? Like
Unless
you
for
have
some reason some doctor comes out and says that it's not healthy for his heart, but it seems like everything's good to go. Like,
yeah.
but that's going to be a different atmosphere, so you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But um, hopefully he's there, or at least there to make an appearance, and then he can go leave after that or something. I don't know, but that would be super cool. But yeah, they didn't to the actual game. They really didn't look that good. They're turning the ball over. They're not the high-powered offense. They've turned into this. It's either Diggs or Gabe Davis for 60 and a touchdown, or they're going to do a 3 and out. Like they only have these two options. They can't sustain a drive together. They don't use Dawson Knox the way that they did a few years back. And they're just,
Stupid.
and Singletary's not running that well. It's literally just big deep balls over the top. Now, luckily they have Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis who catch that most of the time, and I think they both had over 100 receiving yards on Sunday. But to rely
Big
on
game,
that
Gabe.
for 4 weeks is going to be real tough. So they have to figure something else out. And a big shout out to Skylar Thompson, man. 2 weeks ago, this guy looked like he was never going to play football again. He was just so bad,
Yeah.
and obviously he's a rookie, right? So it's going to be a little bit, but I didn't expect him to be anything. I thought he would like Nathan Peterman it up and he'd drop back down to the practice squad and never be heard from again. But I think he played a pretty good game. I think somebody's going to give him a chance. Probably still the Dolphins, obviously, with Teddy as their backup. But somebody's going to give him a chance to keep being a backup, keep growing, doing his thing. And I'm proud of him. I think he played really well.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely going to stay on a NFL roster for years to come. From that game, playoff game, away game, and still be able
Yeah.
to do what he was able to do, and show that like if the kid has weapons, he can go into a game and get it done. And if he's not playing another team that can put up more than 30 points, then they're going to like. There's not a lot of teams out there that could put up more than 30. Even like the Ravens, who were in the playoffs, not this year, they weren't
Right.
putting up more than 30. So if they would have been slotted against the Ravens, could have won that game. Who knows? But the fact that you could put him in there and get 30 points is incredible. And shout out to the coaching staff who has been ridiculed, especially on that big ass skid they took there at the end of the season with all those losses. They showed up and had a good game plan against the division opponent and almost came out with the win. But real quick, you think Mike McDaniels was hitting the old vape like
Yeah,
everybody was saying?
absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
think so?
Yeah.
Because hey, look, you can see
It
this.
looked
Look,
like it.
that's the way his cheek was when you're sucking in, right? He wasn't doing this. It was a not a.
He was either sucking his thumb or he had a vape.
That's the only two,
He
right?
better
Because
come out saying he was sucking his thumb.
his cheeks were going in,
And
like
he
they
had
were
the
going
mic
in.
moved out of the way. He who is that illegal for coaches? Like I know it is for players. Does it matter for coaches?
Who knows? I mean, and
I'm,
there's
it's not
probably
good
guys out
optics.
there that that have the tobacco-less little snus that they put in their mouth for a couple minutes and then
Yeah.
throw it away. That probably definitely has to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, to think that out of the 1,000 people within the NFL, none of the players smoke is crazy to think, right?
Right.
Crazy
Oh
to
yeah.
think.
I think he was for sure. I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, people will make it a big deal potentially, but not
Yeah.
it's not to me. I don't care. Um
Do
so
you
the
think he
next
should come out and say that it was a vape?
Well, he should talk to Roger Goodell first. Make sure that he didn't do anything wrong. Because if it was like illegal, Goodell won't care. He'll tell him to cover it
Yeah.
up. So go talk to Goodell, see what he says. If he says cover it up, cover it up. If he says, yo, I don't give a fuck, then you go tell him. Who cares? So the next game is the only game that we got wrong, or I mean that we got different. You were right, I was wrong. And that was the Giants and the Vikings. And I said that the Giants would play close, but I said in close games the Vikings always win. They shut down Justin Jefferson like I haven't seen anyone do in a long time. Brian Daboll, he's going to be the coach of the year, well deserved. Daniel Jones has made this huge improvement, and that I have to put on the coach because we've seen what he's been doing for 3 years, whatever it was. Barkley looked strong. This Giants team looked good, and I know that we've said that the Vikings aren't good all season. I don't care that they got 13 wins. To beat this team on the road the way that they did, and I know it was a close game, but the Giants pretty much had it handily the whole game. I'm impressed, and I think they can make a run. Literally a week after saying I don't think the Giants should be here, I replaced the Giants with the Lions in our little hypothetical. But I think that they deserve to be where they are right now after that game.
I don't think they have any shot in this world
Woo.
to win this game. But yeah, they played a great game. Coaching staff is absolutely amazing. What they did with Daniel Dimes is incredible. The fact that this kid is in the history books as the first ever quarterback to do anything is
True.
insane. The
True.
fact that it's like over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 70 yards rushing is
Right.
even fucking more insane. The bettors have always said all season, take Danny Dimes rushing yards over every single game.
Yep.
So that's like a known thing. But the fact that he was the first one to do something like that, it wasn't Lamar Jackson. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes. People know he can run. It wasn't a Michael Vick. It wasn't a Dante Cole. It wasn't all these running quarterbacks. It wasn't a Steve Young who was in this fucking playoffs for a long time.
Yeah.
No, it's Daniel fucking Jones. It's insane. But I don't see, like, I really don't see that team. Like, I just don't see it. Do you?
Hey, well, recency
I
bias.
mean,
Recency bias, man. I didn't see the Eagles play this week. I saw the Giants play, and they played damn
yeah,
good.
I'm saying it's a division opponent, so it can happen. It could, but and shout out to the NFC least. Not so
I
least
know.
this year, I
What
guess.
the hell is happening? 3 out
Yeah,
of the 4 teams. That's so
yeah,
nuts.
yeah, it is. But I mean, I don't see it. I just really can't see it. It is a divisional opponent. Anything can happen in these games, but there's no way. There are
Oof.
so many dogs on Philadelphia, Dogfield. There we go,
For the
Philadelphia.
dog. Yeah, there you go.
That I
Maybe.
just I just don't see it happening. And like, is Danny going to have another perfect game? He can against this Philly
Not
defense,
against
right?
the Philly defense. He won't do what he did against the Vikings, that's for sure.
Eh, and even that offense and that Giants defense, I just don't. They still gave up a lot of points. I just don't see it. I don't see it. They could play 10 times, and it might happen once. And maybe that
No, it
that was
only
that
needs to
one game
happen
against the
once, right?
Vikings.
Yeah.
And we both always talk about teams that really come in and blow a game, like blow their load
Oh,
on a
yeah, yeah,
game.
yeah.
Like that next game's really tough to come back to, and for it to be the number one seed, that could be tough. But man, we'll see. And the fact that it's even a possibility is all on Dabble,
Yeah.
Dabo, Debo,
Dabble, Dayball. I think it's Dayball.
Dayball.
I think that's what it is. Hold on, my cat's trying to jump up on my lap. Come on, dude.
Koa.
He might need to be picked up because he's
But
a bum. Oh,
but
no,
yeah,
there he goes.
I kind of had to figure that was gonna happen, man. Just the way the Giants played the game, like they the Vikings just weren't gonna.
I thought Cousins avoiding prime time was going to be fine. He actually played okay, other than dumping it off on fourth down for some
Yeah,
reason.
that was stupid. 4th and 8, 3-yard check down. But yeah, and I think, but I don't think whatever their head coach. I don't know his name. I don't know why Staley's name is so well known and his seat's so hot right now. That whole Viking staff
Yeah.
should be
I don't
on
know who their
fire.
coach is, but yeah, they should be.
Like, oh,
But
but
they got 13 wins.
we
Yeah.
were 11-0 in close games until then. You were fucking in 12 close games, like
Yeah,
one
that's
possession
true.
games this season, bro. Like something has to change. You
Winning
have
a close
Dalvin
game
Cook,
is the players anyway,
and the
more than
fact
the
that people don't realize 4 years ago Adam Thielen was Cooper Cup.
yeah. And
Like,
he was on my
and
fantasy team this year and did not do shit.
he's a nobody anymore. But they have Justin Jefferson. They have who's that?
Yeah.
Jalen Rieger too from Philly
Yeah.
that they traded for. They have all these
They have
guys.
Hawkinson
T.J.
now.
Hawkinson.
Dalvin
They have
Cook, obviously.
they
Like it's
like the
just
time is now. They have to figure it out, and I think we're seeing nowadays if you find the right coaching staff, these first year staffs can get shit done. Zach Taylor
yeah.
hasn't been with the Bengals for a very long time. Doug Peterson's first year. Andy Reid's been around fucking forever, and then you have fucking Brian Dable over there just showing up. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to find the right piece. Don't be like the Colts and just try to find an old quarterback. Like change the whole coaching staff and figure out because you have a good piece. Like you have a good core. They just need to figure it out. And I hate that Kirk is getting a bad. He's getting the most of it right now.
I know. I still have tickets on Cousins Island. I'm not leaving until he retires. He's my guy.
I love Kirk too. I just
I
can't
had
be a
Matt Schaub
quarterback
tickets
whore.
for a long time and those never cashed in. But Kirk Cousins tickets will cash in eventually. So the next game was the game of the weekend, and it was crazy. I thought it was going to be an easy blowout once I saw Lamar Jackson was not playing. The Bengals and the Ravens was just amazing. The way it ended was absolutely ridiculous.
Our game was the game of the weekend.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Dude, that the Bengals Ravens game was the game. Yours had more excitement in it, sure, but yours wasn't like it was just a blown lead. It wasn't this back and forth
Yeah.
crazy game. Who was going to win it? The Ravens were about to win. Their winning probability, which I'm sure the Chargers' winning probability was pretty high at one point in the game too. But the Ravens' winning probability with like 2 minutes left or whenever they were running for that goal line thing was like 98%. No, it was like 84%, I think. And they said that one single play made it go from 84% chance to win to a 13% chance to win. That was the biggest swing of the entire weekend. And what was Huntley doing? Like, it looked like he was trying to score from the 5 yard line. He was so far back when he went for that.
I agree
It
with the
was,
jump, but like because when he went, like everybody went down and there was only two guys that went up and he had guys like I don't know what they were doing, but he had guys coming in from behind the
yeah,
push.
to push him.
And when he falls over like this like a dumbass with no football. If he just jumps and goes
And
and
then
just falls
reach.
forward,
Yeah.
yeah, and
You
I
land
don't
first and then you can kind of reach because you're on the pile. You have some time to, you're not going to hit the
and the
ground.
yeah, and the way he went out with it, like, oh, here's
Yeah.
the ball, take it. Oh, he punched the ball. Like, yeah, that was crazy, man. Yeah, you're right. That was insane. But man, game of the week, bro.
Yeah, it was the game of the weekend. Um,
We had more points scored in
like I
each
said, yours
half.
was more exciting of a game. Just I think the better game was their game. But anyways,
Okay,
um,
everybody's entitled to an opinion.
but anyway, going back to the actual game, aside from that one play, you mentioned it in the little Bills recap. The Bengals didn't look like the world beaters. I had them as like one of the favorites to win. Um, I didn't think that they were going to be stopped maybe by Kansas City in the AFC Championship. I thought they could repeat making it the Super Bowl, but they didn't look like that team. They continue to have offensive linemen go down. I
That's
feel
yeah.
so bad for Joe Burrow, but uh, I- he can't be getting sacked like this again and do it again, can he? I mean, he did it last year. Maybe
No.
he's fine with getting sacked 8 times. He doesn't give a shit. But I don't think he can do it. I think they need to figure something out. And I don't know, man. They just didn't look like the Bengals I expected, especially having just played the Ravens and beating the brakes off of them.
Yeah, and just that whole game too, just it was weird, right? Like it didn't seem like there was a much for either team to do. Um, so maybe I don't know, maybe they just I don't know. Division, it's hard to talk
Mm,
about divisional
that's
games
true. That's true.
because it's just like weird. Like looking at it, Joe Mixon doesn't like carry the rock more than 10, 12 times. Um, Burrow threw it less than 30 times. Like the way that team won isn't a way that they usually win. And with on the other side, that team wasn't able to go either. So, and it's not like there was a lot of turnovers. I don't think it's still there. We go. Now we're loading.
No, I don't think there was a lot. There was just there
Oh,
wasn't even
Burrow
like
threw it.
punts, really.
Yeah. Burrow threw it 32 times.
Well, and what's up with
No
Justin Tucker
interceptions, no
now? Justin
fumbles.
Tucker not able to make kicks. Like
Yeah,
that's never happened before.
yeah. He needs to
That's
retire
crazy. Before he
before.
falls off the deep end. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Um,
Yeah, but I
but
don't know. It's that was a weird. It was a really weird game to watch, just because like it seemed like nothing was happening. A lot was happening, but nothing was really happening there until the end, and they started getting points on the board. But yeah, for the Bengals to be able to come back and seal it was was crazy. Was
so
absolutely crazy because there was still a good bit of time after that happened, and they didn't let the Ravens get any chance of going down to tie it.
Right, that's true. So we've been long-winded as always, and we do still need to make our predictions and of course talk about the Bucks for a second. But real quick, what do you think is next for Lamar Jackson? Because it's certainly not the Ravens. He's
A new
out. He
team,
didn't even
yeah,
show up. Um, someone's going to assign him as a starter, obviously, right? Someone's going to give him big money. Where do you see him landing? What type of team? Or like
San
where?
Francisco.
San Francisco. They're not going to want him. Why would they give that much money to him?
Why not?
Because they have 3 quarterbacks that they can get rid of. They're trying to get rid of Trey Lance.
Garoppolo's gone. Trey Lance is, yeah, okay, so we can agree there.
What if they
They're
can
gone.
negotiate a tag and trade for Trey Lance? So the Ravens franchise tag Lamar Jackson and trade him for Trey Lance and some picks.
Because, yeah, the only reason I say San Francisco is because a lot of people are saying Tom Brady, and I don't see Tom. I see Tom definitely, if he's able to choose between San Francisco or Vegas, I see him going to Vegas.
Yeah,
I
he'll
don't
go
know
to
why.
McDaniels. Josh
Yeah, I
McDaniels,
don't.
that's what.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that maybe. But I don't know why that's such a good fit. I just think he has a better chance of winning a Super Bowl there than he does with San Francisco. I feel like because he knows his offense and he's not him. I don't think that'll be a match made in heaven. I don't feel like, but yeah, McDaniel's. Yeah, duh, duh. You're right. That's
Well,
smart. Haha. Look at us. But I can definitely see San Francisco. They're a team that like to pay selective people, and he would be huge for that market. And the fans would absolutely love him. Lamar Jackson, Debo Samuel, that would be absolutely insane.
well, it's really crazy because we don't talk about this
Christian
before.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We don't talk about this before the podcast at all. Um, Sometimes we talk about sport. We always talk about sports, but we don't normally talk about podcast topics. I also had an NFC West team, and I also had a team with a bunch of nice weapons like you just named. I think no disrespect to Geno Smith. I think he goes to Seattle. Lamar Jackson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker. That's going to be a squad. Geno did his job. He had a Pro Bowl season. He filled the hole. But when they traded traded Russell Wilson away and got Geno Smith, they were not expecting to get a future starting quarterback. They were just plugging a hole, and now they see a chance to fill that hole. He's going to go to Seattle, and they're going to make some noise. It's going to
They
be
have the
nice.
7th pick, man. They can go get a cheap quarterback.
They don't need a cheap quarterback. Why do they need a cheap quarterback?
I don't
That's
know.
just
Why are
your
we talking that
strategy.
bitch?
That's just your strategy because I had to be
Damn
Brandon
right.
Sealand. Do the strategy.
Damn
All
right.
right. So
That's
so
crazy.
moving on. The high pitch is when you think somebody's being stupid. That's the
Oh, okay.
That's normal. You didn't go to college. All right. So, hey,
Kaiser
you
doesn't
attended
count.
you attended college a lot more than Dane Taylor. What was his last name? Not Dane Taylor.
Not Dane Taylor.
Anderson? Is that his
Dane
last name?
Anderson.
You
Yeah, old
attended more than
Dane.
him, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely more sporting events. So,
Honest.
anyways, the last game of the week
Let's
was the
enjoy
Bucks
this
at the
college.
Cowboys. I said
Hey.
I said that was the most unsurprising game. I said this before the game started. I said it's going to be the most unsurprising game. The Bucks could win and I would not be surprised. The Bucks could lose by 20 and I would not be surprised. Well, that's the one that happened. The Bucks lost by 20 and I wasn't surprised. I knew it was over as soon as Tom Brady decided not to throw the ball 20 rows into the stands and instead gifted them a red zone interception right after dumbass kept talking about how he never throws a red zone pick.
Yeah.
It was game over at that point, and I almost turned it away, but I just can't turn it away from my teams. But it was rough to watch as far as like wanting good product on the field if you're a Tampa Bay fan, but it wasn't surprising. And we played great defense at times, and it's just like we can't put it together. We would get them to like 3rd and 18, and then we'd give them a pass over the middle for 24 yards. And you're like, okay, like why'd you even play the first 3 downs then? So that's just frustrating, and that's something that's got to get fixed. And it's not going to get fixed while Todd Bowles is there, just period.
Yeah, and Byron being gone and not the defensive coordinator or the head coach is crazy. Like fucking wide open. Who was it? Was it CD or Gallup?
Gallup on
On the
that big 3rd down play that could have
yeah.
changed the whole game. Yeah, that was Gallup.
Was it 3rd or 4th? It was a 3rd down.
or it might have been fourth when they went for it. But either way, it was a stop that we had to make to
Yeah, I
be.
want to say it was like, oh no, the Jaguars had the fourth down play where we scored on. Y'all's was like, yeah, theirs was like, yeah, y'all's was like 3rd and 8 or some shit, and just left them wide ass open for the touchdown. But yeah, it was just weird, a weird season for the Bucks, and it showed in the final game as well. But yeah, that was crazy. That interception too, because usually he's really good. One, why the fuck is he running up towards the line? He doesn't do that.
Yeah,
He's been really good at kind of going shuffling side to side, keeping his eyes down, and doing what you said, throwing it 50 yards into the bleachers, or he just holds onto it and finds somebody to break off. There
right.
was nobody breaking off to that left side. Russell Gage broke off like
The wrong way. Yeah.
two. No, he went to the right. I mean, the
Yeah.
way yeah, but he went to where nobody else was and broke off maybe a second before. But Tom Brady didn't look over there. I don't know what the fuck he was looking
The
at.
thing is, Brady gets this year especially, last year a little bit, he gets panicked so fast. And we've never seen him get panicked in the pocket.
Yeah,
And now he does. He dipped and he was not at fear of being sacked on that play. Not right away anyway. But he just got scared, and he got so scared that he threw the ball like he was being hit, and he wasn't even being hit. And he
yeah,
just kind of ugly, very ugly. But it was um it was sad, but it was to be expected. It just sucks that it's the Cowboys, because like for some reason there's so many Cowboys fans in the world and they never watch football. They just follow the highlights and the headlines and see if the Cowboys are the team to beat or whatever, and so they're really annoying. But
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you're past that now. You don't have to worry about Cowboys fans.
yeah,
You're not a Tom Brady fan, so it's not like you have to hear
I
about
know.
him finally getting beat by them. So the only thing that sucks is it was a good 3 years. It was a good run. Now you got about 3 or 4 really bad ones coming up
I
and
know.
first overall picks and
But
all
we
that
got the
good
Super Bowl
jazz.
ring, so it's worth. Like it's the same thing that the Kawhi Leonard trade, the LeBron James and AD trade, all these things. If you get your ring out of it, it doesn't matter from that point on. And so
Yeah.
we got our ring, so we're going to be able to bank on about 6 or 7 more of these years if we need them. Hopefully we're
And
better before that, but if we're bad, we'll be fine.
and it looks like the next guy in line there is going to be Kyle Trask at the quarterback position unless they do anything
Should
this
be
offseason. But
right,
it doesn't look like it. And with them making the playoffs, they're not going to get anybody that's going to come in this year and start, right?
right.
Um, the Will Levis isn't going to drop. Bryce isn't going to
Stroud,
drop.
where's Stroud gonna fall to now?
He's not going to drop that far.
No, Bennett might, but I don't know that
Bennett's not going to be a
he's.
guy that's going to start right off rip.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that's
not.
true.
But so that's going to be kind of cool to be able to watch Kyle Trask go to work.
Yeah,
And you still have Fournette for this season coming up, right? He signed a 2-year extension. So
yeah,
you got Fournette for this season. You still got Evans, Julio's hanging it up.
well, for sure.
Godwin until 2025, so 2 more
Or
years.
yeah, so
I think Gage is half dead. No, I'm kidding. That wasn't that
he
wasn't a cool
so
joke.
yeah, shout out to him. He did get a concussion and some neck damage, but the reason we didn't bring it up right away is he has movement in all of his extremities. He's fine. They're just keeping them there for additional testing, and they'll release him. So I was very not upset at the team or anything like that. But when anyone gets injured with like 2 minutes left in a blowout, it's just like, God damn it. Like that sucks.
Yeah,
It's the playoffs. I know why the starters are still in at this point, but it's like, dang, come on. Like, can't the football gods and the luck of the draw just turn off at 2 minutes and that that
yeah,
shit doesn't happen?
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm happy that he's healthy and good and he should be fine to start next season.
Same,
Um,
but yeah, he'll definitely have weapons on that offense to be able to use. It's not like you guys shouldn't be some sort of team that beats people. It's just
and
I
we
wouldn't
still have a shitty
expect.
division, so
Yeah,
like it'll
it's just
be
as a
we'll have a
fan, I
chance.
wouldn't I wouldn't be thinking Super Bowl or bust for the next half
Yeah,
decade.
I agree. All right, so real quick, we're at our hour, but let's make our predictions for the next game. And I think you guys are the very first game, right? I know you're on Saturday, but I think you're the
Saturday,
first game.
4:30, baby. Yes, sir.
So it's you guys and the Chiefs. Um, I love you guys. I'm gonna be cheering for you guys. You, my brother, all those dudes are fans. I don't care about any of the other teams here, but I think the Chiefs are the team to beat right now. I've changed my mind on that way too many times this season to count, but I think the Chiefs are where it's at in the AFC, and I think they're gonna beat you guys pretty handily. But I will say that if you guys are down anything less than 27-0 at halftime, I think you guys will be confident. Like if they're destroying you guys and it's 17-3 heading to halftime, you guys are gonna be like,
Yeah.
all right, we got this. But no, I think the Chiefs will win.
Yeah, nah, I don't think the Chiefs are going to destroy us at all. I they barely beat us when we we're sucking for one. We sucked in that game. Not even gonna go look back at the stats, but we have a solid shot. Our defense is legit. Like our front four is legit. Our cornerbacks are legit. Shaq Griffin is still on IR, so our cornerbacks are still legit.
Right.
Safeties I've already taled about enough. But I really think we can go toe to toe with those guys. And we've shown if they want to put up 30, we can put up 31. It doesn't matter. And you got to remember the team that we just played and put up 24 points against in the second half has a Joey Bosa, has a Khalil Mack, has a Derwin James. Like it's not like we were going up against some ass defense. The defense that we just put 24 points up against has a better defense than the team that we're about to face.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
just that offense has more than Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen and
Right.
fucking what's that one dude's name? Gerald Everett.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
it?
it's
Yeah,
Gerald, but yeah, it's
their
Everett.
tight end. They have a Travis Kelce. They have a McCole Hardman. Like they have some guys on that
And as good
offense.
as Justin Herbert is,
He's
Patrick
not Pat
Mahomes is the best
Mahomes.
quarterback in the league. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna
but
be
I
tough.
mean, we definitely have a chance, man. We're a scary team on defense, and if our offense is cooking, I mean, if we give that offense 5 extra possessions in the first half, we're fucked.
Right.
So we definitely have to clean that up. But no, I think we definitely have a solid chance, bro.
Nice.
There's
So,
no
who
way
are
we're
you
getting blown
picking?
out. The Jaguars. It was always the Jags.
All right. All right. So the next game is your team by proxy. The Eagles facing off against the Giants, and I'll let you go first and let me know what you think.
Yeah, this again is another divisional matchup. Another both games that we've talked about are games that have been played this season. It's so crazy
It's
how this
still
is
crazy,
happening.
yeah.
Yeah, and another game. I think
That
is the other one
that was
too.
scheduled this season at least. I
Well,
don't know
no,
about the
they
49ers and the
played. Oh yeah,
Cowboys.
they didn't play. I don't think. Maybe they did play. I don't know. They probably played in. Never mind. But that'd be a great Mexico City matchup. I
Wait,
feel like
that was the game that Trey Lance got hurt. Was the Cowboys game, I think, like week 3. So I think they did play the Cowboys.
that'd be crazy. All right,
Because I
but
think
anyways,
the Cowboys won, but I think Trey Lance got hurt that game.
we're going to see how huge those two additions on the defensive line are going to be for the Eagles this weekend. Just being able to be fresh against a really good offensive line and run game in Danny Dimes and Saquon Barkley. Except the fact that Saquon only had 14 rushing yards last week,
Right?
and that seems to be like 15, 20. He's not getting 30, 35
He
like
had
he should.
receiving yards though, right? Like
Yeah,
he was doing work
yeah,
there.
but he's
So
not. They're not rushing it just with him. Like I feel like they should more, and they're going to need to if they want like ball, like time control. Time is in your hands. Like you have to have time in your hands if you're the Giants. You want any shot of winning this game. But I just don't see it happening. I'd see a lot of 3-and-outs for the Giants. They might have a couple good plays. It seemed like Kenny Galladay wants to play football again. So we'll see. But that Eagles team is the best team in the NFC, I feel like. And they're going to be able to show that in the next 2 games on their way to a Super Bowl.
Ooh. Well, I have not been on the Giants bandwagon at all, so why not jump on now? There's some empty
That's
seats.
crazy.
I think that they have enough knowledge and the formula to beat the Eagles. I think who was that? I say that I'm going to pick them to win, and that I don't even know their players' names. But that one receiver that just broke out this last week and was looking, they had like a superstar receiver, not a superstar, a young receiver that played like a superstar. Let me grab it real quick. I think it's
Sterling Shepard?
no.
I know that's an old one.
Wow, TJ Hawkinson had 129 receiving yards against them.
Damn,
It was
that's crazy. Can you
Isaiah
imagine if
Hodgins.
oh yeah, Hodgins. I have heard
So
that name.
they found him 100 yards, a touchdown last game. I think he's gonna be able to break out and do another thing like that again. The Eagles obviously are a better defensive team than the Vikings are, but I think that the Giants have what it takes. I think that they have all the pieces together, and I think that they can make it a really interesting NFC East matchup for the NFC Championship. No, I don't think the 49ers are going to lose. But no, I think the Giants will win, and I think it's going to be a crazy game. I think it's going to be a game that you got to watch. It'll be fun. It'll be just nuts, and it'll be Saturday night, and it'll be fun.
That
Go
would have to be
Giants.
a crazy game for the Giants to win. I don't see that happening. I think they're going to get smacked in the mouth.
All right. Well, then we move to Sunday and we have the game that never was, and it is happening, and it's the flip side of the stadiums at least. It's the Bengals heading to Buffalo, which apparently Buffalo cannot play very well in their own stadium anymore. But they're heading there, and this is a toss up for me. This is so difficult to predict. Neither team looks good like literally right now, but at their best, these are the top two teams in the entire NFL if they're clicking on all cylinders and playing well. So it could go either way. I think I know the whole Damar Hamlin thing is motivation for the Bills. I think it's cool, but I think the Bengals not getting that game where they were up and they thought they were going to continue to roll to a win. I think that's motivation for them. I think they're pretty pissed that they didn't get a chance to be hosting the Bills tonight or Sunday night instead of having to travel there. So I think they're going to come out with that chip on their shoulder too and say, listen, we were going to beat you that day. Like you guys got saved, not us. And I think they're going to go out and I think they're going to win again. And I think it's going to be a pretty solid victory. It's not going to be like a domination game, but I think by the end of it, it'll be a double-digit win where they kind of win going away at the end of it. So I think the Bengals will take it.
We finally agree. It's
Hey,
crazy. Yeah, I think the same thing. The Bills have kind of hit like a slow spot, oil spill, if you will. You know what I'm talking about on 2K.
yeah,
But they kind of slowed down a little bit, and they've come back to the same team we saw last year, and not in a one-dimensional type of team. It's Josh Allen or bust, and yeah, they're going to need a playoff game. They're going to need Stephon Diggs to keep being Stephon Diggs. We know that's going to happen.
right.
But like you said, Dawson Knox isn't being used at all, and that's going to be huge. They're going to be able to just hone down on them, and the Bengals have a great defense. I don't know anybody on that defense besides Hubbard
Yeah, me neither.
because he just ran the ball back 94 yards for a
Yep.
touchdown, and he's from Cincy and went to fucking school. That's a Cincinnati kid. That's awesome that
Yeah.
he was able to do that, and he was mic'd up, and it was hilarious. But but yeah, I really think the Bengals have a great chance of winning this game, and the Bills don't. Like they're so easy to plan against. It's
Yeah.
crazy, and they're just so good on offense and defense that they're able to figure out and get the win. But I think the Bengals are just a little bit better on offense that they're going to be able to put up more points when that clock hits zero. I don't
Nice.
think it's going to be double digits like you do,
Well,
but
I'm saying like it might be like they kick a field goal to make it 10 near the end. Like I think it'll be a late fourth quarter game where they're still fighting. It just might end up double digits by the end of it just
so we'll
because
see a
of the way.
Bengals dagger.
Yeah, it'll be one of those maybe. I don't think it's
Gotcha.
going to be a runaway. All right, so
Gotcha.
the the last game is the Cowboys heading to San Francisco, America's team versus Mr. Irrelevant. It's fun. Who do you got winning this one?
It's hard to say it, bro. I like couldn't even picture the Cowboys winning a playoff game. I just it's I ooh ah the Cowboys. But man, Brock did so good. This is one that's up in the air. I have to pick the Cowboys. I don't have to, but I just think of what they were able to do against a pretty good defense that Tampa does have. And to be able to stop Tom Brady and all those weapons, that they looked like they were cooking. The only thing that wasn't happening was their field goal kicker, but he
Right.
wasn't kicking field goals. He was kicking extra points, so they didn't really need him too much. Hey, and fuck Dak real quick. Like you didn't see the fucking special teams unit saying, "Hey, find another fucking quarterback.
He
Why are you
didn't.
throwing so many interceptions?" No,
He
he's
said
why are
that
we
he
going
was
for
gonna.
fucking? Why are we going for two? He like there was a clip that went out of him yelling out after the third missed kick.
Well, I mean, why
Why
aren't
aren't
you
we
going
going?
for two?
Yeah, but why you don't see like, nah, you're the fucking leader of the team. Go
Yeah.
go up to him and be like,
He
hey
wants
man,
to be
it's
the leader of the team. He wants to go for two. But did you see his post game conference after that?
no,
He said,
no.
"This is where I was like, why are you saying fuck Dak? This was amazing." They asked him about the missed extra points and all that, and he said, "This is my words, but basically what he said, listen guys, I had a shitty game last week, and they still relied on me, and they brought me out here, and I played a better game. He just had his shitty game this week. He said I fully expect him to come out next week and be perfect." So like, he stepped up for his team when it counted. But if you are the star of the team and somebody else is missing, if everybody's missing but me in my basketball league, and it's getting, I'm gonna be like, all right, give me the fucking ball. Sorry, you're not shooting anymore. I'll take care of this one. You'll be
Yeah,
ready
and
next game.
basketball, yeah.
Well, that's what he
But
said. He
like,
said,
all right,
I'll take care
but
of it right now. You'll be ready for next game. Don't
all
worry
right,
about it.
let's say your guy has 30 points on you. Every game it's just the person you're defending is getting 30 on you, 30 on you, 30 on you, right? For like 4 games in a row. And then at halftime, somebody has 15 points on old buddy. And you're like, bro, you want to fucking guard your man? Like, bitch, I could have been saying that to you for the last 4 fucking games. Right? You don't,
Yeah.
bro. And if that's like the captain of the team, you're like, yo, are you serious, bro? You've been sucking dick. Like, you didn't see anybody on the team coming at you.
And if I was the captain, I'd say, then fucking come at me next time. Grow some balls, bitch.
But
Tell me I
anyway,
suck.
I didn't like it. That was of poor taste in my eyes. For the cameras, knowing it's a playoff game, you're Dak Prescott, you're the quarterback of America's team. Like cameras are going to be on you at all times. For him to be able to be shown being that disgruntled with a teammate when they're blowing you out for one, it doesn't matter for two, and you're going on a stretch of just losing to the fucking Commanders in a abysmal
And he's
showing from
thrown what,
yourself.
7 picks in 5 games, not counting
Like,
this one.
you don't see
So
like you never saw anything about Maurer, however you say his name, uh, talking shit or anything like that. So I mean, that was kind of dumb, but it's hard to see uh Mr. Irrelevant led team beat this Cowboys defense right now. Like it's
that's the thing.
really hard to see,
Seattle
really
didn't
fucking
have
hard to
Micah
see.
Parsons.
It's gonna look just
So
like the Ravens Bengals game. And come on, guys, y'all can do it. Y'all can score. There's an end zone somewhere. And then all of a sudden you're gonna be like, oh shit, it's a game. It's not gonna be like the Jaguars Chargers where they're like, yo, bro, what the oh shit, they're coming back. Oh, they figured out the deep. Oh, what the fuck? There's what? It's not gonna be anything like that. It's gonna be very boring, very slow. What the fuck's going on? And the Cowboys are gonna be able to figure it out at the end and get it done. That's what I see happening. Bro, that defense is scary. And I
yeah.
don't think I think what Brock Purdy has been able to do and what he's done is going to kind of get him into a little bit of a comfort zone that he shouldn't be in.
Mm.
I don't think that his teammates are going to allow him to kind of get a big head. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think he's going to be able to realize like where he is, being in the divisional round of the playoffs, being against a historically really good franchise and organization and San Francisco, and being against the best defense in the league for the last 4 years. I don't
Well,
think he understands what he's going up against right now.
yeah,
And
because
it's I want to say 3 years, right? Cowboys have been the best for about the last 2, 3 years.
yeah.
Like COVID year, they were pretty fucking good. Last
Yeah.
year they were great. This year they're great. Yeah,
I
we could say
think
that. Or you could even say the 49ers. I don't know.
the pressure definitely has to start to mount. Like when you're Mr. Irrelevant, when you're the third string to start the season, you have nothing to lose, right? He's been playing every game during his like 5 game win streak to end the regular season or whatever it was with nothing to lose. He's Brock Purdy. He's just doing his thing. Now he's getting to the point where he has something to lose. Like it doesn't even matter. Like you're one of the final 8 teams. You have something to lose now. You can't drop that. So the pressure will start to mount where he can't just play free and can't play loose. But I think the bigger thing about this game is this is going to be the game where Mike McCarthy screws up. I know Mike McCarthy's your boy, and that's why you won't go against him. But I don't know why Mike McCarthy's your boy, but I know you defended him at one point. I
I
don't
just
think
love Big
he's
Mike.
he's that
Aaron
great.
Rodgers.
And I think this is the game where it shows its ugly head because I agree with you. I think it's going to be one of those sloppy, ugly, dumb games that at the end of the game you're like, oh shit, it is anybody's game to win. Can somebody go win it? I think the 49ers are more well equipped to just go win the game than the Cowboys are. The Cowboys are more well equipped to hold on to a game that they are winning, but in a close back and forth game, I just don't think that they're equipped to go steal a win. And I think the 49ers will do that.
Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard.
Ezekiel Elliott has
Schultz.
like 0.8 yards per
All right.
rush right now or
Tony
something.
Pollard.
Tony Pollard's
Schultz.
good.
Schultz. Been amazing. 2 touchdowns against y'all. CD Lamb. Gallup. T.Y. Hilton.
Gallup's I did not even know Hilton
Diggs.
was on their team.
Van Der Esch. He got like 3 receptions against y'all. Like they have guys.
They have guys, but they're
You can say
more
the same thing.
equipped to hold on to a win. Like they
Yeah.
to hold on to a win means you have to score and do all these things. The people you named do
Hey,
all that stuff, and then they hang on.
y'all do have y'all's left tackle that y'all had come in, that Smith kid.
Yeah,
He's gonna be a fucking dog, bro.
yeah.
That kid, bro. That was fun
So
to watch.
I
But
think
this
it'll be
is
the
gonna be crazy.
49ers.
This is gonna be like if all the old retired linemen of the NFL or the high school, like the big guys, all the guys that are actually like the high school coaches that were always offensive linemen and
Uh-huh.
are really fucking smart at football. Oh, they're gonna love this fucking game, bro. Nick Bosa against what is it, Tyrants? What's his name? The left tackle for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's like
Tyre.
Tyron something.
I don't know.
Or I don't
That's
know.
crazy. That's disrespectful. Best
All
left
right.
tackle of our time. But that's gonna be such a fun thing to look at. But
Well, I think the 49ers are going to win. I think it's going to be a really sloggy game, but I think that they'll find a way to pull through. All right,
so
so
yeah,
are you
Brock
trying to look up
Purdy.
that guy?
Yeah, I'm looking up Brock Purdy.
Oh, okay. What do you have to
Yeah,
say about Brock Purdy?
he's all right. He's been playing really fucking good. I just don't see it, bro.
All right.
18 of 30 for 332. That's a lot of yak. That's got to be a lot of yak, right?
Yeah.
And that Cowboy. See, I don't know. It's gonna come down to the playmakers, which is gonna be really fucking fun to watch.
Yeah, because they
I
both have
think.
playmakers. They both
Like
have
when they do
amazing playmakers.
score, it's gonna be like some busted open plays, like wide open 60 yards. Tony Pollard's
Yeah.
gonna get out there and gut open a run whenever they come up. It's gonna be fun.
All right.
But
Well, Koa
I
is
just don't
trying
see
to give a
Brock Purdy
shout out
doing
to
it. Look
somebody.
at
I don't know who it
Brock
is.
Purdy looks like a fucking Lego
I don't
man.
think I've ever seen him. But what? So you got to give me a shout out today. I've been giving shout outs the last couple
I know,
times.
dude, and
You got to find something. While I look up a picture of Brock Purdy, because now you've made me want to look at Lego
dude, he's
Man.
just he actually looks like John Harbaugh's son. When you look at it with one eye closed and take your glasses off.
When you look at him with one eye closed,
You know what?
oh
Yeah.
wait, I can kind of see it. I can see the John Harbaugh thing.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
That's funny. All right, you got a shout out?
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna shout out Jim Harbaugh for sticking with Michigan and Michigan sticking
Hey,
with him. It's an amazing thing. I am so happy that he decided to stay in college. Many job openings going to be open for multiple positions, head coaching jobs, coordinating jobs that he could have went to, made more money in the NFL, but he's going to stick around making his clean what, like $9-10 million he's probably
He
making.
probably makes
I
more
don't
than
know what
that.
the I don't know that there's not a lot like Dion's only making 5 million over in Colorado, and that's Deion Sanders. But I
Yeah,
mean, he was
but
only making five hundred
that's
thousand at
not
Jackson State.
Michigan.
But
Uh,
anyways,
Harbaugh, you're
what was
right.
it?
7 million.
Hey, so a shout out to him for staying in college, staying at Michigan. He said his heart is in Michigan with that college. I'm happy that they didn't want to give up on him right after he finally beat Ohio State. And they signed a pretty lengthy extension, 5 years, I want to say. So he's going to be around for a minute. Shout out to him. Shout out to Michigan. And that's the day and age that we need to kind of get back to, right? That doesn't happen anymore. It's like, cool, yeah, but you got fucked by TCU, so get out of here. So for both parties, I appreciate you guys for sticking it out and creating a beautiful 5 year entanglement that you're going to continue. It's been fun to watch. Keep beating the shit out of Ohio State, and as always, be a stud, not a scrub.